This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So let us see our sample test cases. In our input we are given 3 strings separated by space. So the first string is S1 and the second string is S2 and the third string is S3. And now our task is to print the longest common substring out of these 3 strings. And here XYZ is the longest and common for all the 3 strings. So we are printing XYZ as our output. Now let us see how we are printing this value XYZ. So first let us find all the common substrings. So in all the 3 strings S1, S2 and S3, X has occurred. So X is a common substring. And then similarly Y has also occurred in all the 3 strings. So Y is also a common substring, and similarly Z has also occurred. And now the next substring XY has also occurred in all the 3 strings. So now XY, and now YZ has also occurred in all the 3 strings. So YZ is our next substring. And then finally XYZ has also occurred in all the strings. So now XYZ. So now these are all the common substrings present, and the largest out of these is XYZ. So we are printing XYZ as our output. And here in our sample input 2, there are no common substrings at all. All the characters present in every string are unique. So if there is no common substring found, then in those cases we have to print -1 as our output. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. This is the program I have written. So first I am declaring some character arrays named S1, S2, S3 and result. And we will be storing our longest common substring in this character array result. And in the next line I am accepting the input strings S1, S2 and S3, and then I am creating some integer variables named max and f, and I am setting their values initially to 0. So we will be using this variable max to find the longest common substring, and we will be using this f to check whether we have found any common substrings or not, because we were given in the question that if we are not able to find any common substrings, we should print -1. So we will be using this integer f for that. So now what we are going to do is we are going to generate all possible substrings of the string S1, and after generating every substring we are going to check whether the substring has occurred in all the remaining strings, that is S2 and S3. If it is present, we are going to store it in our character array named result, and while storing it into the character array result, in the next iteration if we find a bigger substring that is greater than the string that is stored in result, then we will be replacing the result with the newly found substring. So first let us generate all the substrings of the string S1. So now to generate all the substrings of S1, I am going to create a for loop that iterates from 0 till string length of S1. And in every iteration I am creating another new variable named p and assigning the value of I to it. So initially the value of I would be equal to 0. So I will be equal to 0, and the value of p is equal to I, so p will also be equal to 0. And in the next line I am creating a while loop, and this while loop works until the value of p becomes equal to the string length of S1. And in every iteration of this while loop I am incrementing the value of p. So here what happens is the value of p is incremented in every iteration. Initially the value of p will be equal to 0 here. And then I am going to create a for loop within this while loop that iterates from I till p. So first the value of I will be equal to 0 and p will also be equal to 0. So we are going to store the characters from I to p and store it into this new character array named check. And after storing the characters from I to p, we are setting the last value as null. So let us see with the example what exactly is happening here. Suppose we have to generate all the substrings for the string ABCDE. What we are doing there is, first we will be generating A, and in the next iteration we will be generating AB, and the next ABC, and then ABCD, and then ABCDE. And then after generating ABCDE, now we will be starting from B. So now the newly formed substring would be B, and then the next iteration BC, then BCDE, and then again it will be starting from C and then CD. So like this we will be finding all the substrings of this string ABCDE. So this is what this for loop would be doing this, and the newly formed substring would be stored into this new character array check. So now after finding the substring, we are going to check whether the substring has occurred in the strings S1, S2 and S3. So to do that, we are going to make use of this function str. So if the newly found substring check has occurred in the string S1, then this function str would return a pointer to it. And if the string check has not occurred in S1, then the function str would return a null. So if the function doesn't return a null, then it means that the substring check has occurred in the string S1. So we are checking if it is not equal to null. And similarly, we are also checking for S2 whether it doesn't return null, and also for S3. So if all these conditions are satisfied, it means that the check is a substring for all the strings S1, S2 and S3. And in those cases, we will be storing the substring into our string result. So before storing it in our result, we are going to check the length of the substring, because if we already have a string that is greater than the current string, then we should not store it into our result, because in our output we must print the longest common substring. So we are checking whether the string length of check is greater than max, and only if it is greater than max we are going to store it into the array result. And we are also going to make our value to 1. So finally, after the execution of this for loop, that is after generating all the substrings, we are going to check whether the value of f is equal to 1. So if the value of f is equal to 1, then it means that we have found a substring. So we will be printing the value that is stored in result, or else we will be printing -1. So now let us check our program with sample test cases. So I have given the sample input 1 and our expected output is XYZ. So we are also getting XYZ. And now I have given the sample input 2 and here our expected output is -1. So we are also getting -1. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.